We're really happy to see that there is a pause in fighting because it allows the necessities like water, food, gas, and the simple necessities of life to keep people surviving in Gaza. However, the siege has really decimated the population. Those who don't have mortal injuries have serious issues with being able to secure food and water, including our staff on the ground. And so we are trying to get more supplies, more medical supplies, food, water, simply to support staff plus all of the people on the ground who so desperately need it.
Have there been any issues in getting the aid through or delivering the maximum aid that's possible during the window that this pause in hostilities allows?
We're seeing reports that aid is getting through. However, it's not fast enough and it's not big enough. You have an entire population of almost 2 million people who are food insecure. We're seeing, in Nasser Hospital, for instance, where we're working, a hospital that typically takes care of 300 patients a day is seeing 1,000 patients a day, completely overwhelmed without the medical materials that they need. And so we really need a sustained ceasefire in order to be able to rebuild those facilities, provide medical aid, get the food and water to people who need it.
And that Nasser hospital, is that in the north or the south?
That's in the south, and so it's being totally overwhelmed by those who are coming from the north.
How is it decided where the aid goes then, with such a huge need all over the territory? Where are the priorities?
I mean, the priority is Gaza writ large. There is, no safe place in Gaza right now, despite the fact that we keep talking about moving people from the north to the south to safer space. When people are traversing that route, that is not a safe route to be traveling. When you get to the south, there is still bombing. At one point, there was a statistic that 30% of the deaths had happened in the south, and we're seeing massive overcrowding in buildings and hospitals, etc., in the south. So at this point, everywhere needs aid in Gaza.
Is this pause, though, allowing your people time to re-establish some sort of health system?
Yes, I mean, any pause is welcome, and we're very happy, and we hope that it keeps on. What our team right now in the south is doing, the international team that's been able to go in, we are actually establishing new facilities to work in, given the overwhelming need in the area. We're also looking for a place where we can safely establish our pharmacy, because right now, where the pharmacy is, it's right in the middle of the fighting. And so those logistical things take time, they take diligence, and 4 days isn't going to be enough to do that, plus treat all the burns patients and wounded that we're seeing.
So what are the medical supplies that you need the most?
So right now, we're at a complete dearth of medical supplies. Everything is needed. Anesthesia is needed, basic medical supplies, things that can actually disinfect, surgical materials, you name it, it's needed. I mean, we've been doing surgery on the ground in hospitals in situations that are completely unacceptable for weeks on end at this point. So, the full package of hospital capacity is needed at this stage, including more staff to be able to support not only the exhausted, but the staff who have died in Gaza.
So the pause is for another 2 days. How are you going to use that time?
Well, right now, as I said, we're trying to establish new facilities, getting food into Gaza, getting water into Gaza, making sure that we can actually attend to those who have the most serious injuries in the hospitals in which we're working now. We're providing burns care, providing primary care, and that's how we're spending our time.
What are your fears for when the ceasefire comes to an end?
I mean, we've lost 2 doctors and 1 lab tech as it is. So our biggest fear is losing more health staff who are actually carrying out life-saving care to this population that's been, and I shouldn't use the word population, to these people, to the Gazans who have been injured and killed in Gaza.
Jennifer Tierney, thank you.
Thank you.